Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for GoldMine 101, our regular series of GoldMine presentations. And this morning, I'm going to focus on the GoldMine Project Manager. Now, this presentation will be approximately 20 minutes or so in duration. It's just an overview of this feature. It's not meant to be in-depth training. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many extensive training options if you need them. Now, on the call today, we've got people using all sorts of different versions of GoldMine. Pretty much everything I show you is relevant to all releases of GoldMine out there. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, I'd encourage you to think of any questions as we go along. Please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, probably lurking in the top right corner of your screen, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end of the session. Please keep them to do with the project manager, but I don't mind handling any question to do with anything in GoldMine within reason. Also at the end, I'll be giving you an update on GoldMine product news, just to keep you up to date there. This call is being recorded. After the presentation, you'll receive an email with the link to recording. You could share it with your colleagues, and we'll most likely post it up on our YouTube channel as well, where you'll see all of our other previous presentations. Just a very brief mention about my company. I know there's some people on the call today who haven't dealt with us before. We have been supplying GoldMine for 22 years now. We're one of the top suppliers worldwide. We've implemented well over 3,000 GoldMine installations, mainly in the UK and further afield. And we provide loads and loads of services around GoldMine: implementation help, training. We can do training at your place. You can come to our training center. We're based near Bristol, or we can do it online. And we've got a great, friendly, responsive telephone help desk service there as well to assist you should you need us. Okay, let's dive into GoldMine then and take a look at the project manager. So here we are. We're looking at a contact record, a client's record here. And along the main tab bar, you can display this tab called Projects to display any project that this contact is linked to. You can also get to your projects to see all of your projects from the Go To menu on your top main menu line. And there we are, there's projects. So if I take you through, first of all, an existing project, then we'll go through simply the creation of a new project, and then what do you do at the end of the project, putting it to bed, completing the project. So here's an existing project. The top half of the screen here is pretty much the standard information that you get initially with the project manager, but this can be customized. You see this little customize button here. This is where you can actually amend those labels, and also you can create new custom fields, up to 5 additional custom fields. If this specific information you want to track, key information you want to track about your project. So that top half of the screen can be customized somewhat. And indeed, in all of these little fields here, we've got the pick list, which can be amended as well in alphabetical order there. We've got all the common entries for this field here, which is the status of this project. So just looking down through these key fields, we've got the project name, we've got the primary company it's linked to, we've got the project manager, so that's one of your GoldMine users. You can code and categorize your projects. If you've got different types of projects or you want to do later analysis or reporting, that might be quite useful to categorize them. Then the overall status, the stage of this project from start to finish. There's just a few example ones there. The source of the project. Obviously, with projects, people are focused on lots of dates. This being a demonstration system, we've got some quite old dates there, but start date, end date, actual date, and the age of the project. Now, in the lower half of the project window, we've got the familiar tab bar again, and on the contacts tab here, these are all of the related contacts to this project. So these may be other contacts in your GoldMine database. They don't have to be, but normally they are. And when you add them to the project, you can also define what's their role, what's the reason for this person being on this project, what's, if you like, what's their relationship to you. The task tab, bit of a visual display here, rather like if you've ever heard of the terminology Gantt chart, which is a common project management system terminology where you've got a graphical display of all of the key tasks with a timeline. And so this is displaying it in GoldMine. These are all tasks that are relating to this project, tasks that are being carried out by different GoldMine users. And this visual indication here of the start time and end time. These little black bars within that task, that's the percentage completion. So you've got a nice visual indication there of this task is underway and is part completed. These tasks, by the way, can be displayed also in your calendar in your activity preferences. Team. So who in your team is responsible for this project? Actually, let me just go to a project that's got a bit more information. Let's just go back to seeing all of our projects. Let's dive into this one here. So team. So these are all of your team members, GoldMine users that have some involvement on this project. And again, what's their role on this project? Issues, is any issues you're looking to solve, objectives you're looking to achieve, again, with the ability to nominate a particular user who has some kind of responsibility with that issue. Notes are just general notes against this project. As you can see, they're date and time stamped as well. Details and links, this is where you can associate any other document or file. It could be an Excel spreadsheet, could be a Word document or similar. And you do have this preview pane in GoldMine, which appears in many places where you see rows and rows of information, or in this example, documents here. And without having to open up Word, without having to open up Excel or some image viewing application, we can see live that preview there of that particular document. And then the last two tabs, importantly, your activities. So I would guess that most people on this call today are used to using GoldMine to track their activities. So as you create tasks, reminders for yourself and your colleagues, these of course are linked to the client's record, they're linked to a contact record, but you are able to link them to a project as well. So wherever you schedule an activity, you have this little project option there. So the activity will be displayed against the contact, but also displayed on the pending tab of this project. And then of course, as you complete these activities, these calls, meetings, and so on, they go into history, as indeed you would see all of your emails that you've sent and received as well, in the same way as activities, emails that you send or receive through GoldMine, and the Outlook integration. There's very nice Outlook email integration with GoldMine. Those emails too can be visible, copied to that history tab there. Now, so seeing all of your projects on the go here, that window allows you to then fine-tune what particular projects you want to look at, whether it's all projects, open or closed. There's the key statuses of the project, if you like. You can also group your projects as well and carry out some other actions like viewing a pipeline, seeing in a visual way all of these projects and what stage are they at. Also within this view, you can also group and sort by any of these columns as well. So if you wanted to maybe group by manager, by project manager, that's easily done there. So you can see at a glance all of the projects on the go and quickly see by manager who's doing what. Now, creating a new project, fairly straightforward. you can do this in a couple of places. So for example, you could be on the primary contact record of this project to create this new project. I click on the projects tab. Somewhere in the project screen area, I right click with my mouse and select new from the local menu here. And this gives you an option of going through the project wizard, a nice way of taking you step by step through this particular project. So I'm just going to select yes to this option. So here we are, we're going through screen by screen now, just confirming the primary company and contact that this project is linked to. Then we can give a descriptive name for this project. Whatever it might be, something meaningful that will show up obviously on all of the reports and analysis that you do. Click next. This is just the main information now. Remember that top half of the screen that we saw, a way of defining who is the project manager, a way of categorizing this project. You may have a little drop-down list there of key codes or descriptions of the different types of projects, the status of the stage of this project, the source of the project, basic start date, end date information there as well. Click next onto the next stage, contacts. These are the related contacts. So we started off with our primary contact, Windy Wilson here. We could obviously create new contacts there and define also what is their role on this project. Again, you can define your own options there on project roles. Next, team members, same way. There's you, the default user. You can add your colleagues' names in there if they've got some kind of role to play. Issues, same thing. Details links, these are links to normally other documents. It could also be used to store other sort of key field information, but essentially it's links to other associated documents with this project. And we're nearly there, so we're just finalizing with the end date there. Finish, job done. We've now defined, created that new project, and there it is displayed on our screen there. Let me just change this top to display all projects, and let's ungroup that. Now, to complete this project, all you do is right click over it and we go to complete. This brings up a completion dialog box, just confirming the primary details of the project there. And interestingly enough, it's got a little wrap-up option. This is where you can finally close off any uncompleted tasks, activities, and any sort of open issues with that project as well. Click OK. Job done. That's now a completed project, and we could go to closed here, and we'll be able to see all of our closed projects. So there we are. That's a quick run through of the GoldMine Project Manager, what it looks like, what information it could contain, to some extent how you can customize it to your own requirements, how you create the project with that little wizard option, and then remembering to complete these projects, change the status, change the overall status of the project once it's been completed with that right click option over the project window. So as I normally like to do on these weekly sessions is open out now the presentation to any questions you've got. So please locate that question section on your meeting control panel. First question from Ed. Can you import projects that I have in Excel? Ed, not with the standard GoldMine application, but there is a third-party import tool that we can provide for you that will allow you to import projects into Excel. I would say that if you've only got a few projects, Ed, it might be quicker just to type those in. As you've seen, it's with the wizard, it's quite quick and easy to type those projects in, but certainly if you've got a few hundred there, then it's possible to import them in. Question from Gavin, when is the next version of GoldMine due out? That's going to be November the 19th. Gavin, I'll take you through that in a second. Let me just see if there's any more questions coming through. Next question from Nathan. How can you manage project budgets as well as tasks? Well, tasks could be managed through the task tab, Nathan, or through the pending and history side as well. As regards budgets, if they are multiple budget, if it's a single figure, that could be tracked as a single custom field on the top half of the screen there in the project manager. If there are multiple monetary figures, then that could be tracked on the details tab of that project record. So it is possible to, where I showed you the preview of a document, it is possible there to use that to track essentially one-to-many information. So one project has many of whatever, many monetary figures linked to it of a budgetary nature. So that's possibly how you could do that, Nathan. Next question from Chris. Can you copy and paste tasks from Excel? I don't believe so, Chris. There's nothing stopping you, of course, copying individual elements, cell by cell or row by row, into a certain field or record in the project manager, but not a sort of global copying and pasting there. Next question from Loretta. What would you use issues for? Well, that is for any sort of key problems maybe that this project is looking to solve. Really, it's up to you. Everyone could use that in subtly different ways. So Loretta, it doesn't really matter, but any sort of issues or objectives relating to that project, that's how you might use that. Next question from Anton. Can you restrict access to projects? Yes, you can. In the user settings, Anton, you can prevent, for example, users accessing or seeing other users' projects. Normally with a CRM system, you want to try and keep things open and information accessed by everyone. But if there are situations where you would need to hide projects from certain people, you can do that. And you could also restrict access via the menu options as well. So to some extent you can, Anton. Yeah, no problem. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through there. Just like to now bring you up to date with some GoldMine product news. We are pleased to announce that we're expecting the next major release of GoldMine Premium Edition 2015.2, so the second major release of 2015 on November the 19th. And three key things with this release: Windows 10 compatibility, Office 2016 compatibility. So if you're using the link to Word, Excel, Outlook, then that's going to fill that gap there. And also enhancements to web and mobile access. So GoldMine Web, which we will feature, or we have featured on our previous presentations, GoldMine Web is a part of GoldMine now. It's one way of accessing live your GoldMine system via any browser. And the latest version of GoldMine has a mobile-friendly option for accessing GoldMine Web. So with your smaller screen size on a smaller tablet or smartphone, it's going to render itself in a more intuitive way for you. So updates to GoldMine Web and a mobile-friendly version in that release as well. We will probably after November the 19th feature this on one of our weekly presentations, so stay tuned for that. Also on the 25th of November, in a week or so's time, we've got a GoldMine introduction course, great for new starters. If you've got anybody new, join your company. want to dispatch them to Wizard Systems for an intensive one-day training course and all the basics, all the day-to-day basics of GoldMine, we'd be happy to help you there. And if you've got any suggestions for future topics, I'm open to any suggestions or recommendations. Please email me, tim@wizard-systems.com. If there's any, there's a few more late questions coming through, as there's been so many. I will go back and answer those. Question from Heather: will you demonstrate the templates aspect another time? Yes, I will. That's a simple way of, if you're referring to, Heather, the project templates, then you can create a project and you can save that as a template, but a great idea there. Next question from Brian: will 2015.2 support MailChimp? No, it won't. There's nothing stopping you exporting your records from GoldMine and then importing results back into GoldMine from MailChimp. But GoldMine does link, Brian, to two other alternate email marketing systems which are integrated with GoldMine more fully. That's Constant Contact and IntelliClick. IntelliClick is the most popular one, so you might like to consider switching there from MailChimp to one of those integrated systems. Next question from Nathan: can you update projects via GoldMine Web? Certainly you can opportunities, Nathan. I'll check on projects with you, but GoldMine Web does have support now for the Opportunity Manager. Okay, next question from Chris: are new tasks created by right-clicking in the area below the tab? Yes, on that task tab, Chris, yes, you right-click there to create a new task. But remember, you do also have activities as well, your normal phone calls, actions, meetings, and emails that are sort of tasks in their own way, and they're created in the normal way. Next question from Brendan: will 2015.2 support 64-bit Outlook? I will check for you, Brendan, and I will email you after the call. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through now. If there are any late questions, I'll answer those separately via email. But thanks very much for your time this morning. So my name again is Tim Wilmot. There's my contact details, tim@wizard-systems.com. Stay tuned for our next presentation next week. It may not be on 2015.2. We're going to wait a week or so till it beds down and show that to you as a UK presentation. But thanks very much for your time. I do appreciate that. And watch out for the email with the recording and the linked recording. Thanks very much for your time. Bye-bye.